يقال إن اسمها يعني الأراضي الخصبة الوفيرة كوباو، أو المكان العظيم كوابانا. ويقال أن كريستوفر كولومبوس أطلق عليها اسم كوبا نسبة إلى بلدة كوبا القديمة في البرتغال. يقع هذا الأرخبيل الجميل من الجزر في منطقة الكاريبي عند مدخل خليج المكسيك، ويسكنه شعب تداخلت عناصر عديدة في تركيبته، وتأثرت ثقافته كثيرا بالثقافات المنصهرة في بوتقته، لا سيما تلك القادمة من أسبانيا وأفريقيا، ومنحته هذه الثقافة المتفردة خصوصية متميزة في الآداب والفنون التي انتشرت في جميع أنحاء العالم.
My name is Vladimir González Quesada. I am the new ambassador of the Republic of Cuba in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and also Cuban non-resident ambassador to the Kingdom of Bahrain and Sultanate of Oman and Republic of Yemen. I arrived to Riyadh in September 2001. Well, frankly speaking, I have only 10 months in Riyadh, but despite this short time, I had the opportunity to visit several places, specifically in Riyadh. But I visit also Jeddah. I had the opportunity to visit the King Abdullah University for Science and Technology, and also here in Riyadh, of course, I visit the Kingdom Tower. I visit also Masmat Fort, and also I visit some natural place, like for example Wadi Hanafiyat, and also the Wadi Namr. And I had the opportunity also to share with the Saudi people. For example, in the occasion of the Ramadan, I had the opportunity to visit some Saudi house and share with them during some iftar and some suhoor. Then, despite that we have a short time in Saudi Arabia, I can say that we have a good experience in your country. I had the opportunity to prepare myself before I arrived to Riyadh, and I read a lot about the history of Saudi Arabia. Then, according to this information, I think that you have a very nice diversity in your country, especially because you have a huge country. Even you have a different kind of culture inside the kingdom. Then I hope in the near future to visit these different regions in your country in order to check all the information that I had during my preparation as a new ambassador of Cuba in Saudi Arabia. In any case, I think that in Riyadh we had the opportunity to share with the Saudi people, and I appreciate you have a very rich history and very rich tradition, because, for example, I have the opportunity to see different traditions, like, for example, the sword dance, and also to enjoy kabsa plate.
علاقات المملكة مع كوبا يعني بدأت قديمة جدا. عام 1945 كان فيها اتفاقية بين البلدين أنه فتح العلاقات، ولكن ما تم فتح سفارات بين البلدين إلا مؤخرا. هم فتحوا سفارة عندنا أول شيء قبلنا، فتحنا سفارة عندهم يمكن عام 2010 2011، يعني كانت حديثة جدا. وبعدها بدأت اتفاقيات التبادلات التجارية والزيارات وزيارات المسؤولين بين البلدين.
Cuba and Saudi Arabia established diplomatic relations since 1956. Saudi Arabia was the first nation Arab which established a diplomatic relation with Cuba, even before the triumph of the Cuban Revolution. it was in 1959. But we can say that at the beginning of the 21st century, we reinforced the diplomatic relation between both sides. Well, in 2003, we received for the first time the visit of Cuban foreign minister to Riyadh. And in 2007, Cuba opened its embassy in Riyadh. Then in 2011, 4 years later, Saudi Arabia opened its embassy in Havana. And there is an important and historical event in our bilateral relation. This is the visit for the first time of the former Minister of Foreign Affairs, Dr. Adel Al-Jubeir. Then, for that moment, we can say that we promote our bilateral relation. In 2014, for example, we signed a general cooperation agreement between Cuba and Saudi Arabia in New York. And on base of this agreement, we start the cooperation in different fields between both countries, specifically in the health sector. Every year, Cuba presents the draft resolution in order to ask the end of the economic, commercial, and financial blockade imposed by the United States against our country since more than 6 decades. In this regard, we support and we appreciate the support that we receive from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Also, we have to say that recently Saudi Arabia asked support in order to celebrate in the Kingdom, in Riyadh, the next International Expo 2030. And the Cuban government decided to support this candidature according to the excellent cooperation that we maintain in international organizations.
أكثر الاتفاقيات اللي موجودة معظمها يعني ثقافية، سياحية، تنسيق في الجهات الحكومية الدولية المشتركة، تنسيق وجهات النظر بين البلدين، وهذه اللي موجودة حاليا.
We have around 200 Cuban citizens in this moment in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, resident in Saudi Arabia. These people in general is in relation with the health sector, because they came to the kingdom in order to bring the service as a doctor, as a nurse, and so. Not only in the Riyadh, but also in different regions in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, even in the region very close from the borderline between Yemen and Saudi Arabia. And I think that these people are very happy in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Some of them got married in Saudi Arabia, and they have now the family, and they are very, very happy. And I think that they have the opportunity also to learn the Arabic language, because they change all the time with the Saudi people. Then I think that this Cuban community insert in the society and shared their tradition. This is example how we can promote the relation between the different people. We have a small Muslim community in our country. They are very organized, and in order to facilitate them their life as a Muslim people in Cuba, this organization gives us some opportunity, specifically some credit, in order to use it in different social and economical projects in Cuba. Also, because of this credit and also this donation from the Saudi side, today we can say that we are building in Havana or in Cuba the first mosque in our country.
السفارة السعودية اللي موجودة في كوبا هي مسؤولة عن جميع دول الكاريبي اللي هناك. طبعا دول صغيرة كثيرة قريبة، أكبرهم كوبا في المنطقة. وحكم المسافة البعيدة هذه يعني تضعف شوي من موضوع العلاقات، انها يعني يكون عائق، اقصد في العلاقات انها تكون اقوى من كذا.
Well, unfortunately, we cannot say that we have investment in each country. But I think that there are many possibilities to start the investment in each country. We can say that after we approve the last foreign investment law in Cuba in 2014, there are many chances for the Saudi investor to make investment on our country in different fields. Fish production, for example, industrial sector also, including the production of a Cuban cigar. Even in the medical sector, you can find some opportunity to invest also. And even in biotechnology sector, because maybe you know, or you have information, that we have a very important development in our country in the scientific sector. We produce our own vaccines. We produce, for example, around 14 vaccines to cover, all the illness in relation with the childhood. And also, we produce our own vaccines in order to fight against the COVID-19. And we produce 5 vaccines and use 3 of them. And some of them even we export and are recognized in different countries. We have, for example, the vaccine, the name is Abdallah, Arabic name by the way, and also Mambisa, and also Soberana. We can say that there are differences between the civilizations, traditions and habits in Saudi Arabia and the one in Cuba. But I think that also there are some coincidence in our culture. You know that during 8th century there was influence, a very big influence from the Arab civilization in the Iberian Peninsula. And we receive this influence in our culture, in our civilization, through the Spanish colonization. Then to date, you can find in Cuba many elements from the Arab civilization, including in the language, including in the construction, and in different areas in the Cuban society. Then we can say that starting from this coincidence, we can develop our cultural relation. For example, we can establish some date in a year in order to show in Riyadh or in Havana our tradition, our typical clothes, our typical plates, to show the different tradition that we have. Also, I think that we can promote to study the Spanish language and Arabic language according to some agreement between some Cuban and Saudi institutions. And also I think that our embassy in Riyadh can play a very important role in this area.
عندهم شعب لطيف جدا وسهل التعامل معه، ويحبون الثقافات الأجنبية بالنسبة لهم. وكوبا من المستعمرات السابقة الإسبانية، ومستعمرات يعني من قبل مئات السنين. وكانت أول ما وصل الأسبان لكوبا كانوا جايين بالثقافة الأندلسية، فبقت عندهم الثقافة الأندلسية إلى الآن. يعني معظم الروايات عندهم فيها ذكر لأشياء عربية طبعا موروثة أو منقولة من الثقافة الأندلسية. فيحبون ثقافتنا، يعرفون تاريخ العالم العربي، العالم الإسلامي، اللي هي أصلا ثقافتهم الأصلية، واللي جاية من معظم الكتاب القدامى اللي عندهم في تاريخهم الثقافي. وإذا رحت هناك تحس كأنك في بلدك.
I have to say that I arrived in a very important moment in Saudi Arabia when there are many changes in the social and economical sector, starting from the vision of 2030. I think that this is a very important plan for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia because allow the country to improve their economic sector and also to insert itself in the international community. And I think that the Saudi government made a very important effort in order to implement this important vision. This is a future vision, and I think that also this vision or this plan is very important also to promote bilateral relations between Cuba and Saudi Arabia. Then let me congratulate the Saudi government because this decision in order to improve the country from the economical and social point of view in the context of this Vision 2030. According to the information of our consular office, from January 2017 until July 2022, we give around 1,000 touristic visits to the Saudi citizens in order to visit our country. But we have also information that there are many Saudi people who visit our country from third countries, then in the context of some touristic tours. And the principal purpose of their visit to our country is to visit the beach and also to know our culture and our history. Then in this context, our embassy made the best effort in order to promote the tourism in Cuba. We try to promote also the tourism to Saudi Arabia because they have many places, especially natural places to visit. And in this regard, we try to encourage the Cuban citizens to visit the kingdom.
كوبا هي أكبر الدول جزر الكاريبي، ومنطقة جو معتدل جدا وسواحل جميلة ومعظمها عذراء، وموجود فيها جميع مقومات السياحة هناك طبعا الجو استوائي، فهي مفتوحة، مجالها كبير في هالمجال.
We have as Iceland a very nice environment that could be enjoyed by the Saudi people. According to the bilateral relation that we have in this moment, I think that we can sign in some moment, some agreement specifically in the touristic sector. In my personal case, I spent more than 40 years in the Arab region because I had the opportunity to study Arabic language in different countries, in Iraq, in Syria, and also I spent long times in the region as a diplomat. Then this is my fixed mission as a diplomat. And frankly speaking, I have to say that I have a very nice experience in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, despite that the short time that I stayed in the kingdom. But I had the opportunity to exchange with their authority and also the Saudi people in general. And I think that they are very kind people. I hope to enjoy the rest of my stay in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia during 3 or 4 years more. We are very satisfied as a new ambassador of the Republic of Cuba in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. We thank a lot their hospitality. We thank a lot the opportunity to share with them, to know very well their culture, their tradition, their habit. And this is very important to promote human relationship. أولاً شكراً جزيلاً بهذه الفرصة الطيبة التي تقدم لنا البرنامج الدبلوماسي. هذه فرصة مناسبة جداً لكي ننتقل الرسالة باللغة العربية إلى المشاهدين الكرام السعوديين. أنا سفير جديد لجمهورية كوبا في المملكة العربية السعودية، وأيضاً سفير غير مقيم لمملكة البحرين وسلطنة عمان and also جمهورية اليمنية. أنا مسرور جداً بوجودي في المملكة العربية السعودية. كان لدي فرصة لزيارة ونقيم أيضاً في منطقة أو في الوطن العربي منذ أكثر من 40 سنة، ولذلك أنا مسرور جداً بوجودي اليوم كسفير كوبا في المملكة العربية السعودية. أتمنى اللقاء طيبة جدا مع الشعب السعودي بشكل عام، وأتمنى أيضا أن نتطور أكثر اللقاء الثنائية بين جمهورية كوبا والمملكة العربية السعودية. وشكرا جزيلا.